Welcome student. Welcome and very good morning to all of you. Okay. Now today we will complete this lesson, that is ancient India cultural. Okay. We come up to this point. Science. Okay. Science. Okay, look at this point, science. Because India has a rich cultural heritage. In the ancient period, we are considered as a most developed country. Okay, so culturally also we are very much prosperous. These kings, ancient kings, work very hard to become a very prosperous. This nation as a whole, India, that time India is not called as a India, but at the ancient period it is considered as a Bharata, Bharatiya Upakhanda. Okay, so in Bharata, let us read this scientifically how India or Bharat is scientifically advanced, in medical science. The famous word, that is Ayurveda, which gets the birth in Bharat, and it is a sign. The Ayurveda and the epics written, or the books written in the Ayurvedas or medicinal sector, it shows how prosperous and how advanced treatment is available in the ancient period. Okay, let us continue with this point, that is the science, medicines. Okay, Indian medical science is known as Ayurveda. So Ayurveda is the gift to the world by Bharat. Okay, it has a very old tradition. It seeks to understand the symptoms of an illness, it diagnoses and treatments. So this Ayurveda includes the study of symptoms of illness, ज्याला लक्षणं म्हणतो, आजारपणाची लक्षणं. ओके, अँड डायग्नोसिस, त्याच्यावरचे उपचार, अँड ट्रीटमेंट, वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारची उपचार पद्धती. ओके, ऑल्सो मच थॉट हॅज बीन गिवन टू प्रिव्हेन्शन ऑफ इलनेस. म्हणजे आयुर्वेद आणि त्याचा जो भर आहे तो बेसिकली कशावरती आधारित आहे? प्रिव्हेन्शन ऑफ इलनेस. म्हणजे आजारी पडूच नाही, अशा पद्धतीनं इथलं मेडिकल सायन्स एन्शंट पिरियडमध्ये डेव्हलप झालेलं होतं. ओके, नाव डेज वी हॅव ॲलोपॅथी, बट इट इज ओनली बिलॉंग्स टू द ट्रीटमेंट. इट डज नॉट मेन्शन और एम्फसाइज ऑन हाऊ टू प्रिव्हेंट इलनेस. It is just a treatment after illness. Okay, so here the medical science itself developed at the ancient period to prevention of illness. Okay, how we can live in a scientific way, or how can one man and his body remains fit. So the treatments are according to remain a fit or to prevent the illness, any type of illness. Okay, Jivaka was a well-known Vaidya. At the court of King Bimbisar. As we know the son. Okay, Bimbisara. He is Jivaka is the courtier of King Bimbisara. Okay, the Charak Sanhita contains detailed informations about the clinical diagnosis and pharmacy. So how to identify the illness of a person by many other treatments. One can identify, the Vaidya can identify the actual illness and its intensity of the illness. Okay, these are all in a written source. We come to know that is called as a Charaka Sanhita. Okay, and different Ayurvedic treatments are contained in these books. It was written by Charak. Charak is the name of the ancient Ayurvedic Vaidya. Okay, the famous surgeon Sushruta has discussed the diagnosis of different ailments and their remedies in his treatise, that is Sushruta Sanhita. So this is another Vaidya, that is Sushruta. Okay, he is well advanced in the treatment or bodily operations. Okay, this his work was contains in a Sushruta Sanhita is an guidance for a standard guidance for the operations, different type of operations. The importance of this text is that it discusses the different causes leading to injuries, fractures and their types, and the various types of surgeries required for them. So surgery, basically Sushrut is the first or ancient surgeon of the ancient Bharat. Okay. The text was translated into the Arabic language and was called as a Kitab-e-Susud. Kitab-e-Susud. So the Sushruta Sanhita was transferred in Arabic language, that is Kitab-e-Susud. So we must underline this concept of Sushruta Sanhita and Kitab-e-Susud. Vagbhat also wrote many books on medical science. Vagbhat and the Ashtanga Sangraha and Ashtanga Rudaya Sanhita are the most important of them. So the Vagbhata wrote many books in a medical science. Among that books, the Ashtanga Sangraha and Ashtanga Rudaya Sanhita are the most having the most important. Okay, the Bauddha Bhikkhu Siddha Nagarjuna in his book Rasaratnakara describes the various chemicals and metals. So in this way, in the medical science, the different types of books are written in an ancient period, that is Charaka Sanhita, Sushruta Sanhita, and later Sushruta Sanhita is translated in Arabic language and it is called as a Kitab-e-Susud. And then Vagbhata, the well-known writer of the ancient period, he wrote the many books, and among them the Ashtanga Sangraha and Ashtanga Rudaya Sanhita are the most important, while in the Bauddha Bhikkhus, the Siddha Nagarjuna wrote a book called Rasaratnakar. In this, Rasa means different types of chemical, Ratna means metals, different types of metals. Okay. So in medical science, we come to know by these books. If you find these books, you can read it, and we come to know how advanced the medical science was in the ancient period. Okay. Today also we refer that books for study in Ayurvedic stream. Okay. So the next point is the mathematics and astronomy. As we know, the mathematics is very well advanced in ancient period. Okay, before 500 years, as we know, there is a Western science, that is Galileo. It is a story famous of the Galileo, that he in the Western world he find that the earth is revolving around the sun, but in the Bible text, according to the Western Church, it is said that the sun is revolving around the earth. And at that period, when the Galileo was existed, the church banned Galileo and his discoveries, and after that he was sentenced to the jail because he says something which is opposite of the church beliefs. Okay, before 500 years ago. But in Bharata, in the ancient period, means more than 5,000 years ago, we actually knows that Earth, sun is the center of the solar system, and Earth is revolving around the sun. Okay, so this much advancement was done in ancient period. The ancient Indian. So let us read this point. Okay, the ancient Indians had studied mathematics and astronomy. Mathematics means ganit, and astronomy. Write down here the meaning of astronomy, that is Khagol Shastra. Khagol. Kh means Akash, Gol means the different planets or celestial bodies which exist in this Akash. Okay. The ancient Indians had studied mathematics and astronomy at a great depth, means thoroughly. Okay. Indians were the first to use the numerals 1 to 9 and 0. So the 0 is a gift of Indian mathematics to the whole world, and the decimal system is a gift to the world. Okay, let us continue with this reading. They invented, means ancient mathematicians, they invented the concept of decimal system, in which the value of digit changes according to its place. Okay, we already learn about this decimal system in 3rd, 4th and 5th. Okay, that is the places, that ekam, daham, shatam, sahasra, dashasahasra. It is the scientific word or Sanskrit words which gives us a knowledge about the value of places of different diseases. That is, ekam means the unit place, daham means the 10th place, shatam means the 100th place. Different types of places considered the digit and its value. Okay, the scientist Aryabhatta wrote a book, Aryabhattiya means belongs to Aryabhatta. The meaning of Aryabhattiya means belongs to Aryabhatta, which included many formulas for mathematical operations. Aryabhatta was also an astronomer. He stated that the earth revolves around the sun. Okay, before merely about 2,500 years ago. Okay, Varahamihir, another mathematician, Varahamihir wrote a famous text, that is Pancha Siddhantika in the 6th century AD. This text discussed the principles of astronomy from a Greek Roman Egyptian civilization. Okay, so as we come to know by reading these points that Indians were so much advanced in the mathematics and astronomy also. So let us continue with this point, that is the text of the mathematician Brahmagupta. This is another prominent name. Underline this. You have to read, and you can get the questions of the Brahmagupta also. Okay, Brahmagupta, who lived in the 7th century CE, after Christian era. Okay, were translated into the Arabic language. So the findings of the Brahmagupta also translated in the Arabic language. In the ancient period, we have a trade relations with the different Arab countries. Okay, so here is another point, that is Kanad, Rishi Kanad. Kana means smallest particles. Okay, Kanad wrote a book called Vaisheshik Darshan. Vaisheshik means a particular view. It mainly discuss Anu and Paramanu atoms. Okay, according to Kanad, the universe is full of innumerable objects. These objects are nothing but the different forms of Anus. These forms might change, but Anu remains unchanged. Atoms cannot be divided. He stated his view that atoms cannot be divided, and today's world we also come to this truth that the Anu means Parmanu or atom cannot be changed. It cannot be divided. Okay, so it is called as a Parmanu. So this much of prosperity in the different science, different mathematics, astronomy, and different subjects, which is related with the living habits of the Bharatiya people, or that we call as a Sanatan culture. That is Sanatan culture. So it is possible because at the ancient period we have developed the different educational system, that is called Gurukula system. Okay, so there is a way of getting knowledge to go to the different gurus, and gain the knowledge, and become a prosperous, become a knowledgeable person. Okay, so Gurukula system itself is an advanced system in the education field, so one can get prosperous knowledge. Okay, with the serving guru. Okay, so all the gurus were devoted to giving education and knowledge to the pupils, and the pupils left their homes and stay at the Gurukula, and learn of the different educations, different sections, different types of educations, artisan. Okay, so these are the process of educational system, and at the ancient period we also create some centers or cities which are totally devoted, which are famous for the education. Okay, so let us continue with the reading. That there are Takshashila University, Varanasi as an education center, Vallabhi Education Center in Gujarat, that is called as a Saurashtra city, and Nalanda University. It is one of the famous. Still today there remains of that Nalanda University. It is one of world's biggest university which exists ever in ancient period. Okay, Vikramshila University and Kanchi universities. So these are some cities or towns which are very famous for getting the knowledge, or Gurukulas or the universities. Okay, Vishwavidyalaya, University Vishwavidyalaya. So let us continue with these points. That is first Takshashila University. Takshashila is the city where nowadays it is occupied by the Pakistan in Peshawar. Okay, in Peshawar region. Peshawar is the ancient name of the Peshawar is Purushapur. Okay, so it was a part of the ancient Bharata. Takshashila was an important city on the ancient Indian trade route. That is called as a Silk Route. Okay, it is go through this city, that is Takshashila. Today it is in Pakistan. Archaeological evidence found there suggests that the city was established in the 6th century BCE. Jivaka, a contemporary of Gautam Buddha and the famous Vaidya, he had studied at Takshashila University by the 4th century BCE, means before Christ. Okay, a fame of the university had spread far and wide. Chandragupta Maurya, the founder of the Maurya Empire, was educated at this university. So he is graduated from that university. Okay, there he get the knowledge from the Chanakya. Chanakya is a professor to this university, and he trained this Chandragupta Maurya in that university, and later Chandragupta becomes the king or emperor of the Magadha Empire and founder of Magadha Empire. Okay, grammarian Panini and Vaidya Charaka, also the students of Takshashila University. The Greek historian who accompanied Alexander have also given a descriptions of the university. They have stated that such university did not exist anywhere in Greece. A famous Chinese Bauddha bhikkhu, Fa Hien, who came to India around 400 CE, also visited the Takshashila University. The university provided education in various subjects such as Vedic literature, Buddhist philosophy, economics and logic. Okay, the next city is famous, that is Varanasi. The river Ganga has two tributaries, that is Varana and Asi. The city located between them came to be called as a Varanasi. Since ancient times, it has a center which provided educations in the areas of Vedic as well as Jain and Buddhist philosophy. Next city which is belongs to Gujarat, that is Valabhi. Valabhi was an ancient city in Saurashtra, Gujarat from the 5th to 8th century CE. It was an important center for Jain, Buddhist philosophy. Yuan Chuang and Itsing, the Chinese Bauddha Bhikkhu, had visited this Valabhi University. Nalanda University, it is belongs to in Bihar. Okay, the remains of ancient Nalanda University can be found near today Patna city in Bihar. Patna, the ancient name of the Patna is Patliputra, which is considered as a capital of Magadha Empire. Okay, Emperor Harshvardhan made generous donations to this university. According to the descriptions of Yuan Chuang and Itsing, Nalanda University could accommodate thousands of students. The library stocked thousands of books. The students seeking admissions to the university had to appear for an examinations and entrance gate at the entrance gate. Okay. Next is the Vikramashila University. This university was located near today's Bhagalpur in Bihar. It was established by the king named Dharmapal in 8th century. It had 6 viharas, each having its own separate entrance. 6 viharas. Okay. Look at the next page. The next point here is a stupa at Sanchi. Okay, Kanchi. The next city is Kanchipuram. Okay, during the reign of the Pallava dynasty, 6th century CE, Kanchi in Tamil Nadu emerged as an important center of education. It was a center for the teaching and learning of Vedic, Jain and Buddhist texts. Okay, the next point is art and literature. So here this point is last point of this lesson. After these points we will conclude this lesson. Okay, the last point is the art and architecture. Many remains today also, many remains shows the great advancement in the making temples, making sculptures, making monuments, different books. It shows how prosperous we are in ancient period. Today also we cannot achieve that goal or that advancement today. Okay, the art of sculpture, art of drawing, art of books, different types of books and architectures are considered as very much we say as a point of guidance or point of advancement, how the ancient society, ancient Bharatiya culture was done a work in the art and architecture. So let us continue with this reading. Student, if you want to search the advancement in the Indian sculpture, temples and all the monuments, you have to search on YouTube. There is a one YouTuber that is called as a Praveen Mohan. Okay, you have to search this Praveen Mohan on YouTube. his his channel, that is Praveen Mohan, is devoted to show how great our culture is. Okay, he studied many things of the Indian sculpture, Indian architecture. So you have to search on YouTube, that is Praveen Mohan. Okay, so you come to know the how architectures are built, and how different techniques, the advanced techniques were used in the ancient period. So let us continue with this lesson, that is the Indian architecture reached its peak during the Maurya and Gupta period. The stone pillars erected by the Emperor Ashoka at various places are excellent examples of Indian sculpture. The stupa at Sanchi and the cave sculpture at Udaygiri, Kandagiri, Karla, Nashik, Ajanta, Ellora. Ellora means Verud, etc. shows that the same traditions advanced even further. The art of making images was developed during the Gupta period. The temples architectures developed during the reign of the Chalukya Pallava dynasty in the South India. The temples of the Mahabalipuram are a testimony to this architecture. The art of making bronze images of deities emerged during the period of Pallavas, and the iron pillar at the Mehrauli near Delhi, nowadays Delhi, ancient name of the Delhi was Indraprastha, is evidence of the advanced knowledge of metallurgy of the ancient Indians, Bharatiyas. Okay, because that iron pillar is not rusted today also. So this type of advanced metallurgical knowledge that ancient people have today, we make the pillars, different type of pillars, but after some year that pillar becomes rusted. Okay, but this pillar which was constructed before at least 2000 years ago, but still it is not rusted. Okay, you can travel to this near Delhi, that is Mehrauli. Okay, thus it is clear that ancient Indian culture was very prosperous and advanced. Okay, in the next chapter we will going through the relations of the whole world at the ancient period. Okay, the other civilizations which are contemporary exist with the ancient India Bharatiya culture, ancient Indian Bharatiya culture. Okay, now we can proudly say that the ancient Indian culture is the only one culture who still today exist. Okay, who still today exist. Many cultures get birth and many cultures get vanished from the earth. Okay, but we are still today exist on the earth because of our way of life, our values, our culture, and our way of thinking. Okay, so this is the knowledge we must acquire from our ancient Indian culture. We must follow the path which ancient Indian culture gives us or direct us. Okay, so we must having the knowledge of ancient Indian culture. It is most prominent in our life. It plays still today. It plays a very important role in India. Okay, so student, here we completed this lesson. You have to write down the homework. First question number first is read and underline the important concept, important names of the books, names of the writer, names of the city in your textbook. Underline that. Okay, question number two, that is you have to make a questions at least 25 to 30 on this lesson with the question in answer in one sentence with the question and its answer. Okay, the third one is write a short note on a different points here in this lesson we have 5 points. So at least 5 short notes must be in your homework. Okay, must be in your homework. And the third one is an activity for you, that you have to gather informations about the Praveen Mohan, on YouTube channel, that is Praveen Mohan's channel. Praveen Mohan, Praven, Praveen Mohan, Mohan, Praveen Mohan. Okay, you have to gather informations about the Praveen Mohan channel and which type of architecture was show in that channel, that person Praveen Mohan. Okay, at least 5 channels you have to view and write down which type of channels, which episodes you seen, and write down that name of the temple, name of the architecture, and gives the important points of belongs to that channel, belongs to that episode, at least 5. Okay, and send me that photographs. Okay, so here we completed this lesson, that is the ancient India as cultural. So here is a picture, look at this picture. Here is a picture, that iron pillar at Mehrauli. Look at how it is designed, and it still it does not rusted. Okay, and this is the murti bronze statue of Nataraj. Nataraj means Bhagwan Shiv's dancing idol, deity. This is a deity of Bhagwan Shiv as a Nataraj. This is one of the translated deity of Bhagwan Shiv, that is Nataraj. The Tandav Nritya belongs to this deity. Okay, this Bhagwan Shiv. Okay, Bharatnatyam, or the different arts were developed in the ancient period, Bharatnatyam, Kuchipudi. Okay, now we will conclude these lessons now. Okay, thank you.